It is extremely important to me that the stories we share are authentic and that we strive to tell both perspectives. I've been a local to this remarkable island 3 times and a tourist too many times to count. Our Home Your Holiday celebrates Aruba. There's a reason why Arubans are so patriotic, and there's a reason why visitors keep coming back. Let's dive into the elements that makes Aruba our home and the perfect holiday. Welcome to Our Home Your Holiday, where we share content that celebrates Aruba. I'm your host, Yenta Liu. One of the charms of the island is how wonderfully small it is. Today we are filming at a hiking trail near the Alta Vista Chapel. My husband actually stumbled upon this area while on one of his bike rides. He thought it was very beautiful, so he took my daughter and I here. While I snapped an Instagram story of our visit, it turns out that my dear friend Lala and her friends and family created this garden in honor and in memory of her late mother, Joren Maris Arens. Lala, along with her friends and family, did a wonderful job with the tribute. Let's get started. The island had a very eventful end to the first month of the year with a royal visit. On January 30th and 31st, the Dutch King Willem-Alexander and Queen Maxima returned to the island for a visit. But this royal arrival in particular was especially significant since it was Princess Amalia's very first time to Aruba. Princess Catharina Amalia, the Princess of Orange, is the first in line to the throne as she is King Willem's eldest child. The 2-day royal visit was filled with local cultural celebrations and fanfare. Aruba's Royal Visit Commission prepared and executed an impressive as well as robust itinerary catering to Princess Amalia. The event centered on young entrepreneurs, exposure to carnival, St. Nicholas development, and much more. As part of the princess's first ever visit to the Caribbean region belonging to the Dutch Kingdom, many young talents on the island performed for the royal family. The family also had the opportunity to pay a visit to a number of the island's natural attractions, such as Aracock Park, Aruba Alloway, Coolman Farm, and so much more. While in St. Nicholas during their visit, the central focus was on the arts. During the 2 days, the public received the opportunity to be up close and personal with the royal family. Aruba's international marketing efforts are integral in getting visitors to come here. So let's get a detailed look into travel trends post-COVID, and let's see specifically what Aruba is doing to get people from around the world to choose this one happy island as their ultimate vacation destination.
Come and re-energize themselves.
Recently, I had the opportunity to sit down with Sanju Loydens, the Chief Marketing Officer for Aruba Tourism Authority, to gain a full understanding of how the island will be positioned this year in order to continue catapulting Aruba as a desired vacation spot.
What we've done is, throughout the pandemic, we have continued to research and to look at the consumer behavior. We've also looked at the type of consumer that we're going after from a communication standpoint, so our target audience. We have enhanced our segmentation in the US, for instance, as we are doing now in the other markets. And as such, we've come up with the Aruba Effect.
Here is a glimpse into a few video series of the Aruba Effect campaign.
More than the sun. That's the Aruba Effect. When standing still makes your heart race. When the unexpected becomes unforgettable. When friendly locals become local friends. That's the Aruba Effect.
The strategy on the Aruba effect was determined after researching various tourism factors, including cultural input, meaning what the consumer is veering towards when it comes to travel trends. ATA also conducted research studies looking into specifics of the consumer, so what the consumer is looking for when considering visiting places such as Aruba.
And we looked at what it is that Aruba has to offer. So what is it that we have, because we want to make sure as well that there's a perfect match between those that we're going after as our desired consumer and those offerings that we have on island. So to make sure there's a happy match there.
One of the most important messages to get across to potential tourists of the island is why Aruba is different than any other sun, sand, and sea destinations.
Additionally, we also looked at what is the competitor doing? What are the competition doing out there in the market, and how are they positioning themselves? And we look close to home, so meaning mostly the Caribbean region. And as such, we looked for what is our unique positioning within that. How could we interject our position of Aruba, which was something that we owned, and that is something that is differentiating us compared to the competition. As such, we came up with the Aruba Effect campaign.
We have a very important cultural celebration upon us. The people of the island are so passionate about Carnival that you can probably sense it in the air. Now, it is a can't-miss event that goes far beyond just a good time. It is significant to the island's rich culture and identity. I sat down with one fanatic of Carnival who not only participates in every parade and is very passionate about it, but somehow her major life milestones, such as getting married and having babies, have been intertwined with Carnival. Aruba's Carnival is grand, it is colorful, and it is significant to the island's culture. When Carnival season is upon us, the preparation and anticipation consumes Aruba. Streets close down, artistry and creativity take over while spectators observe in awe. The parades are simply not to be missed. It is one big cultural party. Michelle Waver is passionate about Carnival. She has been participating in events and parades for as long as she can remember. Here is a poster of 7-year-old Michelle as a Carnival queen representing Centro de Barrio Nord, meaning the Nord District. Being a Carnival contestant is a core memory of her childhood, and she can recall the experience like yesterday.
I placed, I think I was first runner-up or something. I still remember the girl that won, that beat me. In any case, because I placed first, I got to go in all the parades and open up all the parades and first with all the queens.
That's so fun!
Yeah, it was super fun.
But Telenoticia viewers, Michelle remembers something else, and it is about one of your favorite Channel 13 news anchors.
I also remember Ivo Llanes looks the same. How does he look the same?
We're gonna have to put that on there, Ivo.
I remember he was hosting that, and I was just watching the Kids Queen election.
Well, yes.
He does.
That's so funny. I'll be asking Ivo for his skincare routine, but anyways, getting back to Carnival. If Michelle can help it, you will always find her glammed up and having the time of her life during the Carnival season. But the definition of time of her life goes far beyond just having fun.
And as an Aruban, what Carnival means to me, I mean, it's such a large part of our culture. And it's the time when anyone and everyone just comes together and feels like complete rock stars. Doesn't matter how big you are, how small you are, how old, size, age, nothing matters. It's just how you're feeling the music, you're having a fun time, and you're representing your culture while doing it. It's amazing.
Carnival has somehow always intertwined with Michelle's life. When it comes to major milestones such as meeting her husband, who is American, well, the parades had a hand in it. The first time she met Pete was when she was asked by a mutual friend of theirs to pick him up to sign up for Carnival together. They've now been married for close to 10 years, and since then, they've enjoyed the parades together, hand in hand. Pete may not be a Aruban, but is as enthusiastic about the cultural celebration as she is.
For Americans, I mean, it sounds funny, but they are shocked that they have a bar that follows them wherever they go. So for them, That's like super fun part of it.
This year is a big one for the island due to the pandemic putting the events on pause for 2 years. You would think Michelle was disappointed with it being canceled, but somehow it worked in her favor.
There was 2 years, I think, that there was COVID and there wasn't Carnival. It was perfect because I got pregnant, and so I didn't miss out on anything. But I really missed it, so I'm super looking forward to this year.
Michelle may be a twin mom of 2 toddlers, but it'll take a lot more than being busy to stop her from walking in the parades. You will definitely see her at Carnival 69.
So things do look very different. I've been saving up fun miles with my nanny, telling her, already preparing her, because Carnival weekend is a big weekend. And so I'm already preparing her that it's going to be a weekend that me and Pete, both parents, are just going to be fully immersed in the whole Carnival experience.
Carnival means so much to the people of Aruba. It is deeply ingrained in the rich culture and part of the island's identity. It seems like visitors of the island enjoy it just as much and a big incentive for them to return.
My husband has had friends from the States, and I have another friend who's also brought friends from the States, and they're usually from, I don't know, not even places like Miami. It's places like Pennsylvania and New York that have no idea what they're in for. And then you gotta tell them, we're getting you not only dressed up in this crazy, amazing costume, but it needs to be on top of that. You need to bling it up. You can't just go like that. You have to add. So then you have decorating parties, which are whole part of the Carnival experience, and then they go in it. And you think like they're gonna feel like a fish out of water. But once the soca music hits and they just start feeling their groove, and then they had the most fun to the point where they even come back years and years. There's been friends of his that come back 2-3 years in a row just because they had such a fun time.
As we all know, social media has altered the marketing landscape, from boosting posts to influencers and reels. Well, we are here and at your service. Here's how. On Valentine's Day only, Senses Restaurant inside the Radisson Blu is offering a complimentary dessert designed for 2 to share after guests order an appetizer and an entree. And just like Senses Restaurant, businesses and brands across the island have messages that they like to bring forth on social media. We can help with video production like the one you just saw. So if you're interested, email us. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you next time.